Well, hey there, guys. Out here flying at the field, and wanted to take a minute and talk to you about my VisionAire as an FPV rig. I really been enjoying the heck out of this thing. Typical to my style, it's been crashed a few times, but it's still here, and that's pretty cool. Now, this thing was built by Kike Stromzini. I'm very sorry because I'm butchering that name, but with Horizon Hobby, he's an incredible pilot, and they spent a lot of time to make this park flyer step into a 3D airplane. So I figured that would be perfect for 3D FPV, being an not inherently stable platform, because that's not what 3D is, but just a well-rounded platform that flew very well and predictably. Yeah, I figured that would be the best thing to start FPV. Flying buddy Steve's got one, and the thing flies pretty good, so what the heck, found it on RC Group's pretty cheap, so I grabbed it. I'll talk about the flight controller here in a minute and the work that they put into it, but let's just go nose to tail on it, how it functions and the problems with it. First off, the motor, I ran it a little bit hot a few times because I've had it on 4S. So the magnets have come loose, and I've had to re-glue them. I'll show you how I did that in another video. It's actually pretty cool. A little trick I came up with. But I got the motor back together, and it's happy now. Parkzone don't list specs on it, so I'm really not quite sure what it is. But it's 1250 kV motor. Besides that, it's a 2 or 3S to 6S rated ESC. I ran it on 4S, does fine, but I was too lazy to change props, so yeah, that's how the motor got too hot. The ESC only beeps 3 times though. It doesn't beep the 4 beeps like you're on a LiPo battery, it's 4S. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, what the real issue is there, but oh well, it flew, it worked. Even with, I know it because of my FPV gear and stuff, there's not a whole lot of room in this battery bay. I got it shoved all the way forward. In terms of added gear, all I have on here is the typical PZO 420 camera, just glued in the top, an inverted, being an idiot upside down, landed this thing inverted, and it rolled the camera back into the canopy here and punched it in pretty good. Try to keep the repair light and just use what foam was there. In that same crash, it pulled the hinges out of the vertical stab. It just ripped them out, and I just re-glued them back in the air, no problem. So that was actually a pretty cool fix for the hit it took. Found a couple of trees with it. Taping the leading edges, I think, helped a bunch just with regular old packing tape. You could tell, like, right there especially, that right where the stick just ran right into it as it went off the tape. But yeah, I fly like an idiot, to be expected. The landing gear on this thing is junk. They bend on, I don't care how well you grease the landing, they're gonna bend. It's just life. I hear that there's an upgrade for it. The Yak 54 gear, I guess, works really good. I need to order some and try that out, because reshaping your landing gear sucks because it don't taxi very well. The bottom, I have a surveillance zone, the 200 milliwatt, the normal one that they sell, 32 channel, with my antenna hard soldered onto it just for weight. That's the only added weight that I put in this thing. And I hear that even the addition between the regular VisionAire and the Night VisionAire, for a true pro could tell the difference. So I'm sure this is just throwing it all off, but I'm not a 3D guy. I really don't care. I just wanted more of a symmetrical feeling plane. I wanted knife edge. I wanted to spend more time upside down, and loops and rolls and stuff. So I'm very happy with that overall. Got some sticks still in here from a crash. There we go. But overall, the airframe's pretty solid. It is that solid core construction. I don't know if you can see light, whatever, through it. But it's pretty soft. But I'm surprised at how well it does take a hit. The foam, I wouldn't say it's like Evaporator, but it sticks together a bit better, and it's not as heavy as the Evaporator foam. So that's kind of a nice, sweet mix. The servos on this thing are junk. This servo makes noise constantly. It just, since day one, seems to work fine. The rudder one stripped one day, being an idiot, put it in the Jeep. Stripped another rudder one this morning, put it in the Jeep. So you can't blame it there. And that was even a steel gear one. I just wasn't paying attention. The elevator servo stripped in air though, and that was pretty scary. I was very happy to be able to save the thing from that and not crash it. But yeah, servos on this thing are junk. I don't know why they claim they're a really good servo. And the ESC is supposed to be matched to be part of the gyro flight controller, and everything was high voltage and went to work together. It's all great. I just wish they would have put metal gears in here and not just plastic gears. It's really kind of a letdown. But I guess they probably expect you never to crash this thing. But even just rough handling, hang a rash, yeah, it's not good. So now the part you guys are all wondering about, I'm sure, flight controller. Kike spent a lot of time refining this thing to work for the Park Flyer, stepping into 3D. And I really wanted to give it a good try of, you know, how well that worked, and to feel it out before I, you know, swapped it out to my normal FrSky gear. So I flew it probably a dozen or so packs. There's actually a video I'll link here with the unit in the AS3X, and then you could look over here and see another video where I don't have the AS3X in, and I can tell you I enjoyed it a lot more without the AS3X, but you guys could choose in the flying styles. With the AS3X, it's a lot more locked in. It feels incredibly big. I've never flown a 35 or 40% plane, but this thing is incredibly, it feels like it's huge. Wherever you point it, it goes. It snaps and sticks there. It's awesome in breezes and winds. The AS3X is great, so I can understand what they meant by the stepping from the Park Flyer to the 3D Flyer, and yeah, that makes a bunch of sense there. But me, my own squirrely ass way of flying, it doesn't work very well for me. So I ended up flopping over to the FrSky unit. No, it's not as precision and locked in and stuff before, but it's still a really great flying airplane. It's still really predictable. You slow it down with the run cam on the bottom, and it gets pretty tip-stally. But besides that, I'm happy with it. I need to mix in flapper-ons so I could do some tighter loops and stuff. I haven't got around to doing that yet, but it's just normal mixes, full throws, a little bit of rates. It's fun, but overall, this is a great flying airplane. I highly recommend it. I wish Horizon sold it without the receiver in it. You know, drop the price 50, 70 bucks off because they get a lot for that receiver, and that would make this plane a lot more approachable. As a 3D plane, I'm loving it. FPV, I'm having a total ball with it, and heck, let's go fly it. Alright, well, we were out having fun, and I lost it upside down, inverted, and figured I'd show you guys what the inside of one of these things look like. Pretty hollow. It is fiberglass here on the bottom, so that's not wood, that's fiberglass. It's not carbon or nothing. But yeah, pretty hollow. I'm really surprised none of the chunks went flying, so I got pretty much everything here. But yeah, we done crashed it. Now for this section, while we're taking a look, hollow up to here. It's got a floor in here, bulkhead. There's a wire hole back here. I wish I would have saw that earlier before I did my FPV installation. There's a hole right there. It's probably for vent, but I ended up having to punch a hole straight up from the servo cavity here, so then that way you could fish the wires up to my camera. I don't know. The biggest loss in all this is the added weight to get it back in the air, and then I'm not going to be able to continue flying today. But yeah, we'll just smear some glue around on this and pushed the rods back through. I pulled them loose to try to make this thing easier to get home in the Jeep, and it's re-kitted for them. But get a prop and we'll get back flying. No big deal, it's life. But yeah, I figured you guys would like to see what the inside of the VisionAire hollow construction stuff they got going on. And again, the best part about this kit is probably the foam is nice and solid, and to keep the weight down they had to go that route. But yeah, such is life. We'll do something about it. We'll fix it, and I don't know, might lose its nice little color scheme though. All the stickers are peeling anyways. You guys have a good one. Have fun out there flying.
Ready, brother?